property owners have the rights to determine what happens with their property.
Explore, secure intel, and loot to gain access to new missions. Enemy threat is high, so expect contact.
I like to move it. I like to move it.
Alright.
All done?
All done. I was drinking some vitamins.
Oh, I left one for you.
That's fine. So how do you feel about my discussion?
Vague.
Fake?
Vague. Alright,
What is that,
rotate left a little bit. We got a player vehicle down there. Hold steady. Oh, where'd they go? Where'd they go? They hid behind the building. Shit.
Over there. Over there.
Now. There we go. All done.
What does vague mean? Just simple, right?
No. Does not go into specific details.
Okay.
Broad.
No, yeah, I think, yeah, broad. Just simple. Simple so that the reader can understand. Because the minute I go into details, then, you know, the other students are just like...
rotate right. Hold steady. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
What?
The dude jumped on the motorcycle. I was going to blow it up.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, basically I have to write it where everybody's going to be able to understand. I went to detail meaning, like, you know, between powers and then, like, you know, maybe I'll just add to it. I could always add to it. Maybe I should add more detail to it. I didn't, I mean, compared to what everybody else wrote, was just maybe like 50 words and that's it. And they were gone. Like they only wrote like 50 words and that's it. All the women in my class. So I noticed the more I get to details, the more people stay. They don't respond to my discussions.
Come on.
So I just kept it. I kind of kept it broad, like you said, broad, where, you know. I explained to why I chose, you know, direct democracy.
Ultra One, secure the hostage located on your TAC map.
You know.
But in a direct democracy, nobody actually owns anything.
I chose direct democracy. Because why? Basically, I didn't really want to answer. Basically, I didn't want to answer this discussion because it's making me choose between one branch of another or another power over another power. The representative democracy and direct democracy, and I basically put in there, you know, I chose direct democracy. I chose that there needs to be a balance between the both. They both need to be implemented, and that's why James Madison created it. Are we full on guns? No, I don't think so, right?
I could go ahead and do one drop, but I didn't come in prepared for it.
Okay, let's just wait for the next one. I'll come back and pick you up.
Ultra One, actual.
Please
The
help
hostage
me!
is wired
I'm
with
over
explosives. Disarm the vest and secure the objective.
Yeah, it's just I put in conclusion. I wrote the conclusion first that hey, this is this shouldn't be a one side or another. There should be both, you know.
That hostage to the designated LZ.
Hold it.
Get out here to the street.
I can't get it. Yeah. Was that players?
Oh, I think that was bots. If it was
Okay.
players, I'd be down on the ground already. And the hostage would have died when he hit the ground.
Yeah, like I honestly this one was really bad because I didn't want to choose between the two powers. I think James Madison set it up to where there was a balance between powers. So I put my conclusion first, and then I answered the questions at the end, because at the end of it, I don't think there should be one over the other. But if I had to choose, I would choose direct democracy, because the people are more the concept basically of the United States is to be united. Like that's the whole point, is for us people to be together, united, and believing and working together, disagreeing with each other, doing everything to each other. So in direct democracy, people are voting together for the right policies and decision making.
Here's the thing. Here's the biggest statement ever made before the Revolutionary War, before we went to war with Britain. I would rather have one tyrant 3,000 miles away than 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away.
I got
You
kicked.
didn't even get to hear what I said, did you?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, it was stated before we went to war with England to declare our independence that he would rather have one tyrant 3,000 miles away than 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away. Because that is the inherent issue with any type of democracy, is that they will vote for what they get, the free stuff, every time.
Right.
They won't bother to read everything. They'll just say, oh, I get free stuff? Yeah, vote for that. And then the rest of the state has to pay for it, you know.
Correct. Yeah, like so this lady Mia, direct democracy seems the way to go. It seems more precise and not messy like representative democracy. I feel like that also really shows in today's society our debates require minimum knowledge, and that is why this country's inflation is so bad, because our current doesn't have political. Irene Velasco wrote, living under a direct democracy would allow me to have more direct impact on the decisions that affect my life. I would have the opportunity to participate in the decision-making process by voting on important issues and policies. This system would ensure that my voice is heard and that the government is truly representing the will of the people. And then Kari Ramos wrote, I think the best solution is having both direct and representative democracy. There are no pure direct democracies except in a very small groups. Both systems have their strengths and weaknesses, and the choice between them often depend on the contents of society, including its size of political culture and the complexity. And you know, me being a philosophical person, I kind of give a general broad, because I read all the discussions, so I basically grouped all that together and then like interpreted it into why they're coming up with these why they are coming up with these discussions. So it kind of like everybody kind of understands.
That kind of goes back to the argument about cutting Social Security benefits. Social Security benefits isn't related to taxes at all.
One more, G. One more, G. It fits in there. I just put it in there.
Huh?
Okay. Hey, G. So what were you saying?
Well, during the last 5-6 presidential elections, Social Security seems to be a big issue, and they seem to think that it plays a big part in the government's deficit and inflation and several other things, which it does not. Social Security is a separate funded that everybody pays into so they can get retirement benefits at the age of 65.
Right.
It used to be 62. Then they pushed it back to 65. Now they want to push it back to 67. Pretty soon they're going to want to push it back to 70. And if everybody only lives till 72, you get 2 years of benefit.
This fits it. Yeah, I have a... Oh. Right, absolutely, G. And
Social Security has no bearing on the country's deficit, on the taxes that are obtained.
Correct. Because each individual pays into their own Social Security.
Yes.
So therefore, making it independent from the deficit, because it's someone's hard work, tax paying into their social.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's separate from the government altogether. It's managed by the government, but it's separate. But they keep stealing money from it, which they're not supposed to be able to do. So far in the last 10 years, they have stolen from the Social Security about $7 trillion.
Yep. And then they create the issue that the reason why they're in debt is because of Social Security.
No, they're not in debt because of Social Security. They're
blaming. They're blaming. No. I'm not saying it is, but the people, the Congress and the political system is the people that are representing whatever. They're coming up with excuses as well. It's Social Security is a deficit, right? That's what you just said right now, right?
Yeah. So they're squawking that Social Security is bringing down the rest of the system because it's pulling so much money out of other projects, which it's not.
But yet they're stealing.
They're stealing from it. They're taking money out of the fund, which they are illegally doing.
Correct. Yes, I see what you're saying.
So because they have forced the Social Security system to be in its own little deficit by taking that money. So if they put that money back, it's fine. Because every person that works puts money into that for their retirement. But then what they're doing, and that it's supposed to only be for U.S. citizens here in the United States, those that work here in the United States, those that are citizens and those that work. But what they're doing is they're pulling from Social Security for the disability stuff, and they're giving that to people who aren't citizens, who haven't worked, who haven't put anything into it. Plus, on top of that, they're stealing money from it so they can use it somewhere else. And in the last, 15 years, 16 years,
mm-hmm.
they've also been receiving $250 billion from the tobacco industry every
Mhm.
year that's supposed to be paying for smoke cessation programs, this, that, and the other thing, and they can't touch that because that's all it's
Mhm.
supposed to be used for. But it doesn't get used. It just sits there and accrues interest, and they pull the interest.
Yep.
With
Absolutely.
everything they've got going on right
And
now,
and
there's no reason. There's no reason for them to try and increase taxes. There's no reason for them to increase any of this stuff that puts a further burden upon the United States citizens who are working, who are employed, who are trying to make ends meet. They have
right.
enough income coming in from tariffs, from trade, from these other things like the lawsuit with the tobacco companies,